But I would think things change dramatically in the springtime. How you sell, how you go about showing, how you stage, and how the market changes.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's a ton of difference in the spring.
Yeah, it's really dramatic. So the slowest months of the year are almost always December and January.
Here we go. Realty expert John Brodeen in the house.
Hey.
You like those introductions or not?
I love it. Yeah. It makes me feel important.
Do you give yourself all kinds of applause when you're doing your own thing?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on, man.
I should start.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good. Yeah,
Good.
It's Friday.
I know. Plans for the weekend or?
I think we're doing something with a couple friends on Saturday.
Oh,
but
okay.
Last weekend we had an insane weekend. We had a friend's wedding on Friday.
Oh.
We had, I train on Saturdays,
Yep.
and I had a bunch of work stuff I had to do, and then Sunday we had like Dylan's baby photos for
Oh, sure.
5 months or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. 5 months. Yeah.
Well, I guess we're getting them done now. They're her 6-month photos technically, but yeah, it was a crazy weekend.
Yeah.
So this weekend we'll be able to relax a little bit, which would be nice.
That's nice. Last weekend, for the first time ever in 50 years that the program's been around, my radio television school I went to had a reunion.
Oh, how was that?
They're no longer a radio television school, but they still are a radio station, and they still train people and do things. But it was great, except I was the only one in my class to show up.
Oh.
They only take like 12 people a
Yeah.
year or semester, whatever it is. So, and most of the people aren't in the media business anymore.
Oh,
But
I gotcha.
I had a good time. I ran into some people I hadn't seen in quite a long time. So
That's always fun.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll get racing tonight. I'm not sure. The weather's not too
Yeah, it's
nice.
supposed
so
to get stormy kind of like later in the evening, right?
yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Here
Yeah.
we go. I would imagine springtime, I would just think, I'm not a realty expert. I'm not a realtor. I just know you experts. I know things are different in winter. I would think they would be much more difficult in winter doing your job, but I would think things change dramatically in the springtime. How you sell, how you go about showing, how you stage, and how the market changes.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's a ton of difference in the spring.
Yeah, it's really dramatic. So the slowest months of the year are almost always December and January. That's when the activity is at its slowest. So we're seeing the fewest pending sales in those months.
Okay.
And then we're also seeing a really low number of listings on the market, but an even more dramatic drop in activity during those winter months. Then you see things start to pick up. Things begin picking up in March. Usually April has been the busiest month of the year the most times in the past few years. May is pretty common that May will be the busiest month of the year. In 2020, it was June. We had kind of a late spring rush because of all the craziness with pandemic and stuff. And, there actually was a year where March was the busiest one of the month. Some of that can just be weather related.
Sure.
There's other conditions that can come into play. Obviously, 2020, sometimes interest rates affect this. But this spring, so last spring, the rates hadn't gotten really high yet. The market changed pretty substantially in June last year. That's when the rates got high. We had inventory build up a little bit, and the market got pretty slow around June. Not like winter slow, but slow by June standards. This year, we're actually on a pretty similar track to last spring. And, you'd think that'd be a little unusual with the interest rates being high, but the amount of inventory on the market is actually lower. The number of active listings is lower this spring than it was last spring. And it's crazy. I was just looking at this, in preparation for this podcast. I pulled these numbers on the 9th.
Okay.
So I did my monthly market update on the 1st.
Okay.
And I look at everything that happened between, April 1st and May 1st.
Uh-huh.
And then I just, out of curiosity, I pulled the numbers again on the 9th and looked at from April 9th to May 9th. And so when I pulled the numbers on May 1st, there were 45 pendings in the last 30 days.
Okay.
And 17 homes were active contingent upon home inspection, so those would be going pending soon. Then when I checked on the 9th, so only 9 days later or whatever, there were 57 homes pending. So that went up by 12 homes in 9 days.
Wow.
And then the active contingent inspection is 18. So there have been a few new active contingent inspection to replace those ones that have gone from active contingent inspection to pending. So that's a pretty quick increase, we always look at the total number of active listings and we take that divided by the number of pending sales per month, and that gives you a number called the months of inventory. Basically what that tells you is how long would it take for all of the current active listings to sell if they went pending at the current rate that they're going pending.
Okay.
So, if for example, if 44 or 57 homes went pending per month, how long would it take for all 111 active listings to sell out? And it's not that long. Right now, that's 1.94 months of inventory. Now, to put that in perspective, whether it's a buyer's or seller's market, anything under like 5 or 6 months of inventory is a seller's market.
Okay.
And we're at 1.94. So strong seller's market, very low amount of inventory in comparison to the number of homes that are selling. To compare it to last spring, for example, when rates were still low, not super low.
Yeah, but lower.
Substantially lower than they are right now. In April, when we had checked last spring, there was 1.88 months of inventory, and that was the lowest all year. It was 1.95 in March. It was 1.93 in May. That's from May 1st to June 1st. So we're right there with where we were at last year, especially judging by these April 9th to May 9th numbers. When I checked April 1st to May 1st, it was 2.31. So you can see that months of inventory drop pretty substantially in the last few days, just because we saw the number of pendings go up from 45 to 57.
Right.
And the number of homes, so the number of homes active contingent upon home inspection, that's the first status that most listings will go to once they've accepted an offer. This means that they've accepted an offer, they've signed it, earnest money's been deposited, but the offer is subject to home inspection. Majority of these still go through, a small percentage fall apart due to something found in home inspection and the buyer backs out and goes back on the market, but the majority of those go pending, and usually the time frame is about 2 weeks.
Okay.
They'll resolve their home inspection contingency within 2 weeks, and then it'll get marked as pending. This makes the number of homes active contingent on home inspection kind of the leading indicator in our market of activity that's happening right now, because there's kind of a 2-week lag to pending. And then from the time of offer acceptance to closing is about a 45-day lag. So closings are going to be about 45 days behind what the actual activity when people are out there in the market writing offers. So, we're seeing a lot of activity right now. Like, for example, the number of homes active contingent on home inspection, to show you how slow it got this winter. In January, it was only 7, and in December, it was only 5. So that means that, single-digit number of homes accepted offers in those months, which is crazy. That's extremely low.
So now, when you talk about winter, it's not notoriously a good time to be a realtor, a realty expert around here, but is it like that all around the country, like in the warm states? Because, there's a long list of things I could, in my head anyway, why I wouldn't want to buy or sell in the middle of winter around here. Yeah. Everything from how I think it would be harder to stage my house to the fact that if somebody comes in and looks, well, every time you got to worry about making sure everything's shoveled, everything's clean, take your boots off, all of that kind of stuff. Would it be better or easier or different for you if the weather was, say, like it was in Florida? I would imagine, or did they have slow times in the winter too?
So a lot of those areas that are kind of like snowbird markets or vacation markets, it's actually flip-flopped.
Sure, because people are leaving here to look for,
and I'm not exactly sure about Florida, but Arizona specifically,
right,
a lot of those markets in Arizona, it's very busy during the winter, and the summer's their slow time because it's too uncomfortable outside to do anything outside in the summertime. Just like how it's too cold here, to do anything outside in the winter.
That still blows me away, though. It's too hot out. I'm staying in.
Yeah.
How often do you hear that around here?
Yeah.
Unless you weigh 500 pounds.
yeah. But it's like stuff is melting, you're going to get a heat stroke, whatever. It's like 115 or 120 degrees. I don't think... I'd take that. I'd probably take that over 30 below and windy.
Oh, yeah. But, I've always said I'd rather be too warm than too cold.
Yeah.
I'm not skinny and in shape like you are. That heat, the humidity, that'll get me too. Just an old dude.
I don't know. See, the problem I have is I get sick of whatever we got. So, by late August, I'm kind of sick of the hot, muggy weather, and
Sure.
I can't wait for the cool fall days. And in the winter, obviously, you get sick of that a little bit faster, and
Yeah.
then you're excited for those first warm spring days.
So out of the 4 seasons, do you have a favorite?
Probably fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Football season.
Oh,
the
sure,
leaves
sure.
turn. I love it.
Hunting. All that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, that'd be my favorite. Because then, it's like the air is cool and dry. You wear a nice sweater for the first time, and you kind of get cozy when you've been sweating in shorts and t-shirt all summer long.
Yep.
So.
When it comes to the conversations we've had lately, John, recently, how the market changes throughout the year, throughout the 4 seasons. A lot of people who are buying or selling don't realize this. They don't know about these changes. That's why they need to get a hold of people like you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like when we compare these winter months to the spring months, these busy months it's normal for them to have double the amount of sales activity than the winter months. If you're looking for a really good deal and you're fine with the inconveniences of moving during the winter, you could potentially find a good deal in the wintertime because there's fewer buyers to compete against.
Right.
Problem is there's going to be less good inventory on the market because fewer people want to sell during the winter.
Yeah.
Nobody
wants to move during the winter.
The scales of supply and demand are in your favor a little more in the winter than they are in the spring and summer as a buyer. But it's just, is there going to be a good option that's going to work for you on the market during that time?
Right. And if you had your crystal ball, you'd be able to see all of that and figure it all out, right?
Yeah, exactly. You still sell houses in the winter. I still, have a number of closings each month in the winter, but it's definitely slower than this time of year. Yeah.
Well, that's what it's like being a realty expert, huh?
Yeah.
Again, John, you always teach us stuff here. I might have to start watching your stuff just so I can maybe hone up a little bit on what I'm going to talk to you about.
There we go. I'll add you on my email list. You'll like it.
Well, thank you. And you are increasing my educational knowledge about this stuff, and I appreciate it. Yeah. How does somebody get a hold of realty expert John Brodeen?
So you can get on my email list if you just send me a text message, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on TikTok, anywhere you want to find me. Whatever platform you like. If you want to become a client, my number is 701-213-5428. If you've got questions about the market, if you're thinking about moving this spring or summer, plan ahead, get a hold of me early, 701-213-5428. That's my cell phone.
And I'll tell you this, I'll be thinking about you while you're working out tomorrow. And I'm sitting having a nice, cool beverage.
Yeah, trade places.
No, I'm good. Thanks, man. All right, there you go. Realty expert John Brodeen, and that's your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast. Always fun having John in the studio. He'll be back in a couple of weeks for another round of this. Until then, from all of us here at GFBS and Berkshire Hathaway, have yourself a great weekend.